What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a bonus live painting stream here on this channel. Very different than what we're used to doing, but yes, we are all set up for a painting session. We're gonna start on a blank page in my watercolor painting book really soon today. We're gonna have a good time. I'll show you all some of my previous paintings real quick before we start. But thank you all for joining me. Today should be just a chill stream. These paintings take me like probably a little over an hour. So thank you for hanging out today. I know that this is not the usual content that you're used to. If you are here watching live, yes, thank you so much. If you're watching later, drop a comment below. Let me know you're watching later. Would love to hear it. Regardless of when you're watching, give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy. And let's not forget the reason we are doing this live stream. The reason Beattober is happening. The whole reason we're doing this live stream is because it was a donation goal, a fundraising goal. So basically when we hit the $2,000 mark in our fundraising goal, it triggered, that's the wrong one. It triggered this. So I'm working on the free loop pack still because we blew that one out of the water like day one. We already blew this one out of the water, bonus painting stream. So here we are. We just passed this one the other day, maybe on Saturday, and we are $322 away from hitting this one. Something happened where we think somebody donated $500 while we were off stream, but we can't actually see who donated. So if that was you, please let us know. Thank you so much. Or maybe if it was five $100 donations, who knows what happened. But it's crazy. We're almost at the $4,000 goal. So if at any point during this stream you would like to support the Music and Youth Initiative, which is an amazing nonprofit that sets up music programs in after-school programs, YMCAs, Boys and Girls Clubs, things like that. These are all pictures from my program. Like, kids get access to recording studios, performance opportunities. I had kids from 7 years old all the way through 18, 19, 20, like alumni of the program. Saw kids go on to go to music school or just go on to any type of career, but they loved being a part of this program. I'm still connected to a lot of these kids, but really awesome programs that Music and Youth Initiative sets up. So if you want to donate, you can use that super chat function in the chat today or on any of my videos that are marked as fundraisers, and all those funds go directly to the Music and Youth Initiative. You can go to TAETRO.com/Beattober and hit the donate button. You can also pick up some merch, which I pinned to the top. This is actually an original watercolor design, and it's not just available as a t-shirt that says "Make Beats Every Day." It's also available as stuff like phone cases, and I also have like a fanny pack and accessory pouch as well. Also, there's a sample pack that you can pick up and buy. All my sample pack, if you buy any of them, all of that funding for this month is going to go to the cause. We already sold the custom MBK, and if you want to become a YouTube member, you can get a free sample pack, but all my YouTube membership revenue is going to go to the Music and Youth Initiative this month as well. So if we can hit it, if we can raise $322 more this stream, we will be at the $4,000 mark, which means I will have to reveal to you all my old embarrassing music, back when I made music under a different name as a singer-songwriter when I was very much younger. We have some footage, we have video, we have recordings, we have lots of stuff from that era. It's very embarrassing. We also have footage of the band that me and Joseph actually played in together as well, which we would be happy to show off that. But this is going to be real cringe for me, but it's for a good cause, so we'll take it. And then, of course, that will only leave us with $1,000 left to do the 24-hour live stream, which would mean on the last day of Beattober, on the 30th, we will stream from that evening all the way to the 31st, the following evening. Basically, probably like 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. So just get ready. If at any point you want to donate during the stream, be much appreciated. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you all. TAETRO.com/Beattober if you want to learn more. But of course, we came here to paint today. I'm going to not talk so much. Gosh, I don't know what button to hit. These are my watercolor paintings. I started watercoloring. I can tell you the exact date. On July 6th. And I started with these kind of smaller little landscapes. That was my first time. Yeah, the band was not embarrassing. That's true. Hello to everybody in chat. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Uric, White Whisker, Daniel, Brandon, Jucasaurus Rex. That's a great name. Diana, I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for being here. Snide Music, E. Nunez, Nathan Scott, Vibe Sounds, Jeff. Hello, JV, Javi. Nice to see you. Yarn Chic, my mom is here. My dad's here. Hello. Thank you for being here. Billboard Shaw, Suru, Carson, Bishop 91, Mr. G. Smith, Inverted Popes, STK. Wow. A lot of friends coming here for non-music related content, I guess. This was the first attempt at painting these little 3 things. This was just like messing around page. What came next? Then I did like kind of 3 more, which was fun. This was starting in July. I was painting pretty much every day in July, one of these little paintings. That's Rose. I'm really not good enough to do people yet, but that was just a first attempt. I really can't even draw, so it's a mess. I love these waves. That's a lot of fun. I went hard in July. See, I struggle with anything with detail. Like these power lines are a little sus. Got a little messed up. The moon is a lot of fun. I'm just going to go through these and then we'll start on our painting for today. Some woods. Random landscape here. Oh gosh. Random winter landscape. That one I definitely rushed. Spooky woods. I really like trees. That's what you guys are going to find out, is that I really like to do trees. This might be my favorite one, even though it's the most basic. Wintry theme. Brendan Bay says, yeah, they're dope. It makes me want to start painting. You should, especially if you're a musician out there. You should consider starting a second creative hobby. Let me make sure this is doing it. All right. I like this one. This is from a photo I took in Cape Cod. This is some fun, like kind of sci-fi. I paint off reference photos, by the way. It's not like this is all coming out of my head. Like the colors on that one, it's slightly more experimental. This one's good, except for the sky nebula is kind of messed up. Messed up the reflection on this one, but I put a little UFO, crashing UFO, I guess, in this one. This is from 2 nights ago. And this one I did last night in honor of IU's new song, Strawberry Moon. Had to do like a strawberry moon type painting. Anyway, but nonetheless, maybe as we go through today, if you're new or if you want to start a new hobby and this appeals to you, you will see what the process is like and you will see that it's actually pretty approachable. Now, like I said, I literally started doing this in July. I'm literally a beginner. And I might talk through this as if like I'm trying to tell you how to do it, but I really have no clue. So we'll see what happens. First thing I'm going to do is tape off the page to create like a nice frame. I find that this is like almost cheating. This makes the painting look better than it even really does, I think, because it gives it a nice frame. It also helps the water from going off the sides of the page. I'm going to get rid of my keyboard. Actually, not yet. Before I tape this off, I'm going to show you what we're going to do today, or what we're going to try to do. So I always work off reference photos, like I said, but this is my Pinterest board for this. And these 3 I want to hone in on here. We're going to try something like this today. I really like the sky in this one. Oh, God, it's cutting off a little bit. I really like the sky in this one. So we're going to attempt that kind of sky with this kind of trees, the way they make like a V shape. And then this one I like too. It's just kind of similar. I'll just keep it there for reference. But that's what I'm working off of today. So we're going to try to do. If it turns out that way, who knows? Oh, many kind words in the chat. Thank you. Your art is awesome. I've been an artist and painter for about 20 years and now trying to learn music production. That's awesome. Yes, having other disciplines at your disposal, I feel, is very, I don't know. It almost makes my music making better. Getting rid of my keyboard. You all let me know about the background music. I don't even know if you can hear it because I currently can't hear it. So I'm curious if it's even on. I'm not going to spill my water today, though if we do, I'll donate or something. If I spill my water today, I have to donate $500. How about that? I don't think I'll do that, though. But thank you for the kind, encouraging words. I've been posting these a lot on Instagram. So if you follow me there, you've seen most of the paintings already. I just find it's very fun to do. Like last night, I just did that last one before bed. And the thing about it is you're sitting there, you're concentrating on it. You don't have to, less compelled to check notifications, you know, if you're looking to reduce screen time in your life. Looking at a piece of paper and some paint is not a bad way to do it at all. All right, let's just tape off the frame here. And of course, many of you, if you come to my channel to learn music production, I go to YouTube to learn painting. So there are some great YouTubers out there. Calliope is one. Kellogg Loops or something like that. Someone with that name. And then there's some Skillshare classes that I took, which are good as well. But lots of really good resources out there for people trying to learn watercolor. And I used to only be able to do it from a video, but now I learned a few things like how to do a sky, how to make trees from watching those tutorials. And I can pretty much now look at a reference photo and get something that's kind of passable, I guess you could say. Silent, thank you. Silent says, hi man, your art is awesome. I have been in, oh yeah, I already read that. I didn't realize that was you, Silent, sorry. Thank you, SDK. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, lots of happy little trees. As we go through this process, I don't know. I always almost ruin every painting that I do. For instance, for this one, it's clouds and then mountains and then like a little faint moon there against the sky, right? Well, this was actually supposed to be like another big cloud. There weren't supposed to be any mountains in this one. But I really messed up the cloud down here. It just didn't look good. And eventually I darkened it so much, I was like, well, let's just turn it into mountains. And it ended up being mountains, and it turned out fine. Tim Danio, good to see another musician painting. Acrylics are my jam. Nice. I'm very scared to try other types of paint. Watercolor seems very accessible for me right now. But I think someday I will. Try like oil paints or something. Gouache, maybe. A lot of people try gouache, it seems, but I'm totally new to this world. Yeah. Mr. G. Smith says, I was inspired to purchase the Jamstick. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. Nice phone case. I got mine in the mail yesterday. Thank you, Connor, for picking up the merch. Much appreciated. Yes. Where my original painting for this design went. Somewhere. Well. Yeah, but there'll be lots of happy accidents today. But I think what I need to start with is a gradient of like yellow to red from the bottom up. And then likely what I'll need to do is dark, like almost black to blue down. All right, I guess I can't just keep talking. I have to actually start painting, which is kind of scary, but here we go. How are you all today? What do you all want to talk about? Anybody, I assume a lot of people in the chat watch Squid Game. Actually, before I put water on the page, I need to like mix colors because once the water is on the page, it dries fast. So let's do that first. I'm gonna mix colors here. I have two waters. One is for dirty, one is like dirty water, one is clean water. They're both obviously clean right now. I need like a light yellow, which that's fine, but I can probably make it more pale and less like primary yellow. The colors look very different on screen than they do in real life. So yeah, I have that. That's fine. But let me also get white here. I'm just gonna mix the yellow and white to make it a more pale yellow. And I don't really need too much of this because it's gonna be very light. And colors, once they go on the page, they end up when they dry, a lighter coat of paint will dry lighter than it appears as wet paint. right, so that is good. Let's get rid of that. And then the next color I probably need is like a reddish hue. I like using this like brownish red here. But we should mix that with some proper red as well. This, the reddish, the other rusty color gives it more of like an earth tone, I think. And then I'm gonna add white to that as well. There might be a little yellow that gets mixed in there, but that's okay. I want this to almost be like pink. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's never, I watched this one YouTuber, I think this was Calliope that said this, but she talks about you want to be a painter so you can paint a picture. You don't want to be a photo printer. You don't want to be you don't want to be like a copy machine or whatever. So my purpose, I guess, with these is not to copy the picture exactly, but to get something approximate that looks good and, you know, is my version. Now I'm just really quick going to try to mix a blue. The reason I'm taking the color out of the palette and putting it into these is so just I'm sure what color I'm going to use. Like this blue is fine, but I think it probably needs to get darkened a bit. I need more water. Running out of this blue. What are you all up to this evening? What is everybody drinking? Let me know in chat. Oh, I darkened that way too much. Get some of this blue is shiny, but who cares? I'll add like a little glitter to it. More blue, more blue. Might not be able to go back. One of the challenges with watercolor, actually this will be fine for the top of the painting. This is actually good. One of the challenges with watercolor is that when you start painting dark, you can't put light over dark. So you're kind of locked in. Like the darkest stuff has to come first. This is actually a white with blue on it, but that's going to work for what we need it for. Just going to have a light blue ready on deck just in case. And this is probably going to get messy quick, but we'll see. There we go. So now we have very, very dark blue and much lighter blue. Water working, and I ran out of chai. Not the chai, Arizona iced tea. It's been a while since I had an Arizona iced tea. In high school, man, you cannot go wrong, especially like a watermelon flavor. What about Sobe? Does anybody remember Sobe? That's got to be like... It used to come in a nice glass bottle. That's what I remember. All right. That light blue is good enough, I guess. I think this is fine. Reference pick is the best example of the cheating subject for this evening. Some grind in motion graphics and record Beattober beats. Yes, I believe that. It's like I could see that argument too, but it's like looking at a reference photo. So what if you draw the woods and you go stand out in the woods and you draw woods that exist? Is that cheating? I love that every art has its own like toxic culture. I guess I don't love it, but whatever. Okay, we can start painting now that I have some colors ready. So first thing I'm gonna do, I didn't even realize this. This is something when I first started painting, you have to learn real quick, but I'm gonna add water to the page because who knew? Watercolor has to do with water. And what this is going to allow me to do is kind of control where the paint goes. And the reason I'm doing it across the whole page here, because we're going to almost try to do like a gradient. Just getting the water as wet as possible. Again, using the clean water, obviously. This is one reason we need clean water. Doesn't look like I'm doing much, but you'll see kind of the effect this has shortly. And I don't need to go all the way up just yet, even though we are going to do a gradient from the other direction. We might have to take some time during the stream for stuff to dry. but I didn't want to plug my hair dryer in here because I didn't want to blow a fuse and then the whole stream would go down. So there was pink and orange one that were both like drinking candy. Oh man, that one Sobe was like a creamsicle. Yes, the pink one, like the pink thick one for sure was. All right, I'm just gonna use this round brush and start with yellow. So the page is wet. I have yellow on my brush and I'm just gonna paint over this. Now this bottom of the page does not really matter because there's gonna be trees going over it. But if I want a sunset behind my trees, then I need to paint what's behind the trees. Then we'll put the trees on top of them. It's like part of watercoloring. You have to work backwards. Or no, from farthest away to closer. No, like adding stuff in later. I'm just kind of getting a general shape for what's going on here. We're going to add that pink in soon. My process here is not perfect because I don't have like my paper taped down to like the table, which will cause it to warp a little bit, which will cause the water to pool. But peace and love. Do the best we can. I just added more pigment to the brush. I wonder if I could just scoop a little bit of rust in there to kind of orange up this yellow. Like you can see a band there, like of white where the water is pooling, but that's okay. I don't want to work too slow. I think, yes, that was a good strategy, but I don't want too much, not too much. I'm just adding a little bit of orange here. The music just got significantly louder, so if it's too loud, please let me know. All right, so I just added some of that there. Again, most of this down here doesn't matter that much because it's gonna get blocked by trees. I'm gonna go up like this. Probably need to add some more water to the page here because now we need to add our pink pigment. Can I use this brush? Okay, we definitely need more water here. Gonna be careful to not get paint on this brush. Careful as I can be. Yeah. All right, I'm adding this here because we need to add in pink. It needs to go up like that. I'm kind of making shapes, which you can't really see. I can't even really see it in real life. But where the water is where the paint will go. And this is kind of messy, but oof, what did I just do? A little blue in there. That's okay. So we see that the paint is now, you see how the paint like went there? It's actually not a bad thing. Wasn't intentional, but not necessarily a bad thing. I did not mix enough paint, so let's get red and rusty. There we go. And a little bit of white just to make it pale. There we go. Add this in here. Should be good. We're getting like, it's so wet as you can see. You see how when I put that, it kind of like throws out. I'm gonna take a little paint off the brush because there's a fair amount. This is how we avoid getting like hard lines, because in the sky there's no real hard lines. I'm actually doing a lot of red here, but we're gonna go over it anyway. So let me just, I'm gonna try to build a general shape. We are gonna get blue on top of this after it eventually dries. Now there's a fair amount of water there, so I actually went a little overboard. Let's just soak that up a bit. Looks a little ketchup and mustardy at this point. But every paint, what I have found as I work on paintings is you cannot in the process start to feel down on your painting, because you can always like transform it. You can always like even though watercolor is kind of unforgiving, you can find a way to make it work. Is that notebook made out of normal paper or is it thicker? It is specifically a watercolor notebook. I'm just adding these in here. Again, this is a sky, which we can't really tell yet. Man, I did a lot more red than I needed to. Nonetheless, I'm gonna push that up like that. And we're gonna paint over that, so these streaks kind of don't matter right now. But I just want to smooth out this red pigment. We are certainly gonna go over that with blue. I'm kind of lifting paint off here to get it a bit white. The tree line is gonna be like that, like a V. I'm gonna pull some more of this water off because it's pooling right there. So my paper is not properly taped. That's okay. Just don't forget, we're gonna go heavy on some dark blue pretty soon. This red and yellow thing we have going on is really just gonna be background. This is nothing yet, you know? Smooth some of this out. I'm lifting some paint, spreading the paint. Hi, Ed. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a good day. I hope everybody had a good day. Thank you for just hanging out. It's just a fun, I know we don't normally do this type of thing here. Just spreading this, because what will happen is when we add blue, there will actually be an opportunity for some of this red to peek through. So whereas the top of the painting is going to be like a real dark, like almost black, there will be opportunity to have that red color peek through. Same goes here for the yellow. But we are going to have to wait for it to dry. Not too long, actually. Doing well. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Smooth some of this out. If I do this, I might get a little bit of that stroke pattern, which will contribute to the nebula a little bit. So folks, we are like $300 away from hitting the $4,000 goal, which, as you all know, is sharing the embarrassing old music, which will be fun. But what I'm realizing is that we might actually hit that $5,000 goal of the 24-hour live stream. So I'd love to hear your ideas of what we could do during a 24-hour live stream. I am all ears on that. I'm adding some darker pigment. Again, I keep glancing up at the reference photo, by the way. Just adding in a few touches here and there. I don't want it to... Don't want these to be too like splotchy or anything. I might actually add some water to this. A little bit. When you don't have water, like when you don't have like super diluted like water and you're not doing like a wet on wet technique, you get hard lines. So I do not want any hard lines. Like this up here, I don't know if you can really see it on camera. These are hard lines. And that doesn't matter because we're gonna cover it up. But I really don't want that as we do a sky, because the sky is like very smooth and just kind of colors blended, swirled together. Collab stream. You know, I've had multiple companies reach out. They all have like the same product. Like collab with your fans in real time. I just like don't see that working very well. Not that it wouldn't work very well. Not that the collaboration tool isn't probably useful. But from an entertainment perspective, from watching a stream, like sure, I pass it to somebody that wants to collab. And then what? Like what? We're going to watch like somebody remotely work in a DAW, and like how does that work for streaming? Like how do we get audio? Like it's all messy, I feel. Eat every hot one sauce wings while making a beat? I don't know. Didn't LJ do that? All right, so like I said, this is looking pretty trash, but that's how I always feel when I start a painting. How are the levels, guys? I hear the background music playing. I don't know if it's too much or not. I'm gonna go like up here with this darker. Again, this is all part of like a nebula, basically. A sunset. Live paint collab. That'd be great if I could have somebody come in and paint with me. Saber. All right, there we go. A little darker band here. This is all part of the sky. Ooh, these are kind of clouds now, I guess. All right, I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. Let's get this to dry a bit more. And basically, like all the way down to here, we're gonna cover up with dark blue. And it's gonna be like dark blue around these corners. We're gonna try to leave like a lighter band in the middle here. Music is at a good level. Thank you, Brandon, for confirming, letting me know. I'll flip back to the reference photo. This is the main one I'm going off of for the sky. So you can see most of what we've done, the red and the yellow, is basically all gonna get covered up. And then these trees are more straight across. These are more of a V pattern. I would prefer to do the V pattern. So much of what we just did is going to get covered up, but that is kind of how it works. And guess where I live from the IG videos? I feel like most people in Los Angeles, that's probably true. But I won't live here forever. Well, I just go to the city to film, and then I come back to the cabin in the woods. You all see the starting screen. I have my external shot of my cabin in the woods. And you see me in the window. Bring guests in. We could bring guests in for Zoom. Like we could have a call-in section of the stream. I can definitely do a painting during the 24-hour live stream. I was talking to Joe today about like maybe we could watch a what do you call that? I forgot the word again. Not royalty-free movie, but public domain. Is Wizard of Oz public domain yet? I don't think so. I think MGM has a hard cap on that. All right, I think I'm good. It's a little wet there. But yeah, bringing guests in is not a bad idea. That would be fun. The background music is calming. Thank you. This is all my music from Spotify. So if you like these tunes, head over to my Spotify. My human blow dryer. Thank you for saying that, Bouchon. Appreciate it. Istika says, I want to give this a try. Yes. Do. Yes. And the reason, I'm going to flip back for one quick second. This is like big. Not big, but like when I first started, I'm not a very patient person. Maybe some of you might find that surprising. But that's why I did these 3-panel ones. This is a better example. Nope. First one's better example. See how bad this sky is? But I did 3 at a time. Like I did these paintings all at once. And what it is you do a sky here, and then you let it dry, and then you move on to the next one, move on to the next one, and then by the time you're done with this sky, you can move on and start adding things like clouds or something to this one, etc. So if you're gonna start, I definitely recommend working in like this smaller format. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is public domain. I don't see how we could not watch that. That is freaking unbelievable. All right, clean water. Filling my brush with clean water, and we're digging right in to some hardcore blue now. And you can see the water is gonna pool again, by the way. I'm gonna try to move fast with this water. But yeah, I'm gonna go right down the middle. Blue, 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 hardcore blue, hardcore blue. Wherever the water is, the paint will go, don't forget. And because we're going on to a darker color, I don't think the mixing will be much of a problem. I can't really see the water. Okay. Go. It's gonna dry fast, I feel. Come on. So close. Wet on wet technique. So we have wet paint and wet canvas. All right, now this is going to be kind of extreme. Please forgive me. Here we go. Get this super dark blue action going here. And let's freaking get it. Like, I need to even add more black to this, I think. This could even be wetter. Oh, I just put that on my clean water. Ruined. I always do that throughout my process. More paint, more paint, more paint. More paint. Now, what you're going to see happen is I add even more black to that. Really didn't need to have that wet of a brush, I guess. Dry that a bit. Grab some blue. Grab some of that. Grab some of that. What you're going to see, as I was saying, is some of that reddish pink will peek through this, which is what we want. Definitely want to do this. I don't want really any white showing, and I'm going to try to outline a little. Get more blue. A little shape. What that should be. I'm gonna be kind of messy with it because it's supposed to be like the sky. It's supposed to be kind of a nebula-ish kind of thing. Need way more paint here to get that darkness. I don't want this pooling. I'm gonna scrape it up there. And I know you see a lot of black right now probably, but it's gonna be like blackish blue. Going, keep going. Okay, more blue. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's like an indigo blue. Black and blue, black and blue. The black goes a long way. More. Just adding more blues, more blacks. I want this to be like super dark. Like in the painting, it's super dark. We'll probably, because it's so dark, have to do multiple layers of this too. And it's kind of all mixing and pooling there, but I can lift that out and add some paint. Yeah, I'm leaving that kind of band in the middle. I don't need to do that too much. Another shade of blue in there. Okay. Keep going, keep going. Don't let it get to you. And it just looks pretty abstract and messy right now, right? But as we continue to work it, we can get it to look like something. We'll leave certain spots open. And again, the darkest parts are these kind of corner areas. So I want to add more, probably black to these areas. But as it starts to dry, we'll be able to add more. And the reason we do wet on wet is because we can get a better blend. You can see I'm sort of like framing it in black almost. Probably a little bit too much water. Ruined. We were, at one point, I can't remember how long ago this was, but Bob Ross was not trending, was on Twitch. They were playing his show. RIP to one of the legends. And the chat was just absolutely amazing. Like there was this whole culture around like the Bob Ross chat where like, you know, like I'm doing now, you have this, you're painting and then it looks like trash and then you add something and suddenly it's like saved. So like the chat would yell like ruined, ruined, ruined. And then he'd add like a tree and they'd be like saved, saved, saved. And that, I just thought that was freaking hilarious. Always remember that. That's why when you see Joseph McCaffrey in chat, that's what's going on there. There we go. I like this blue better. It's not the blue I started with, but it's better. The paper shape is kind of effing me up a little bit. But I used to watch those streams all the time. So coming, yes. Now I know the Bob Ross documentaries on Netflix, but aren't the actual episodes also on Netflix? I think that's so brilliant. I mean, what streaming is now, that was basically that, right? Like, I'm sure you can go on Twitch and watch real painters paint. But imagine if Bob Ross was born now and he would have like a Twitch channel. He'd be independent. He wouldn't be caught up in half that scam stuff that like you find out about. Not scam stuff, but like people taking advantage of him and his brand, you know? I want to blend some of this down, you know? And again, a lot of this, a lot of that lower page is going to get blocked by trees anyway. We want that little bit of gradient. And suddenly, you know, it's not exactly like the photo, but that's the whole point. Every time I say, oh, it's not exactly like the photo, I just remember back to what my great YouTube teachers of watercolor said. They say, you're not meant to be a copy machine, a photo scanner. There's plenty of photo scanners out there. Go buy a photo scanner. The whole point is to do like your interpretation, your take. All right, actually this is not turning out so terrible. I want to clean this brush in the right water. So you notice like I have messed up a couple times, but you notice the difference between that water and that water. So when I end up needing clean water, or like when I end up like mixing colors or something, it's no problem. What I'm doing here, you can see that paint is actually coming off when I do that. That's actually what I want. I want to lift some paint. And because we did that background layer before, when I do lift paint, it ends up being that reddish orangey color. I want to bring your attention real quick to a link that Nightbot just dropped about the Artifawn Orba giveaway. We have one more Orba to give away this month. And then we'll also be giving away an Instrument 1. So if you haven't entered that yet, I'll actually be posting my Beattober beat with Orba tomorrow. So make sure you check that out with their new app, Orbacam. But if you want to win an Orba, it's a really fun music making device, please click the link. It's US, Canada, and Hong Kong. So if you haven't entered yet and you're in one of those areas, feel free. Artifawn was really nice. They sponsored, by the end of Beattober, they will have sponsored 3 beat videos. And they said, let's do 3 Orbas and an Instrument 1 giveaway. I mean, those guys have always been super supportive. So I like supporting brands that help support me, you know? Didn't really need to lift that paint, but I did. Okay, see this? Lift that either. I don't want to get too crazy. I want to add pigment, like I want to add darker color there, especially to the corner. I don't think I can yet. Yeah, all right, so I'll hold off on that. Coming off a little warmer than it is in real life, I think. It's hard to capture it on camera. Wait, win an Instrument 1? Yes, the last week of Beattober, we're giving away an Instrument 1. But I believe if you enter that giveaway, I don't think you have to enter every week. I think literally you just enter. And if you don't get picked the first 3 weeks, then you're eligible for every week. We got to take the 343 Labs Discord out from this morning, from Nightbot. All right. Like I said, I just want to add some dark pigment around the edges here. I want to know, what are you all watching on Netflix? Or like, what's your streaming show at the moment? Maybe you don't watch shows, maybe you only watch movies. I'm just adding this black here. Black but darker pigment. Do that. Okay, happy accident. Okay. Now we have these bands of almost like clouds in the night sky, you know? Nightbot goes ham once in a while. But for Netflix, me and Joe just finished watching Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. We like K-dramas. It was probably my second favorite. It's hard to say. From an emotional emotional point of view, second most emotional K-drama I've watched. You and Lucifer. No, You and Lucifer, Diana. JK. Cool. Ed is watching Star Wars Visions. Nice. First episode and third episode were dope. I should check that out. That's different than like the behind the scenes thing. Oh, Visions is the anime. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. The one where they have the brother and the sister, I think that one is cool. And also the first one is great. Yeah, the first one is epic. Just adding a little water there to soften those lines. Black. Just spread some of that paint down. Okay. All right, that's gonna take a minute to dry there. It's not so bad, and we are gonna add stars over it, so that's good. But we can probably darken the center. More paint. Sometimes I end up going and adding more. It sort of like messes the whole thing up. But it's a sky, so having it look like kind of clouds and stuff moving in is not so bad. HBTV, is this really true? Yes, as you can see, I've retired as a producer. And I will strictly be painting from now on. No, of course, HBTV, you know that this is our bonus watercolor painting stream in honor of hitting our donation goals. Now, this was the donation goal for $2,000, and we are now $300 away from having raised $4,000. So we're almost at the $4,000 goal. Which people who want to contribute, you can go ahead and throw a super chat that goes directly to the cause to support the Music and Youth Initiative, a really great nonprofit. You can pick up merch, pick up sample packs, that all supports it as well. And if we hit the $5,000 goal, we will do a 24-hour live stream. HBTV says, been good making music. Awesome. Kamikaze Shots, hello, nice to see you. If you're just tuning in, thank you for coming in. This is not what we usually do. This is just a bonus stream to celebrate our fundraising efforts. As promised. I'm not sure if I love this. We're starting to get these little like crackle spirals, which I don't like. That means there's too much water. If I do this, it lifts paint off, but that's also going to create like a slightly cool effect, like almost like a cloud. I don't want to do too much, but now that there's less water, I can spread paint a little more. So this is much more like a kind of cloudier, busier sky than the reference, but you know, we do what we can. Getting some black here because I need to add paint to that. This track is called Bird Call, I think. All the music you're hearing is my music, but some of it's like pretty old, but it is all on Spotify. Not as old as the embarrassing music I'll have to release. Here's a question for Joseph. Is Pure Volume still a website? Or maybe anybody else who knows what I'm talking about can assist. Pure Volume. Ruined. Nah, I'm just playing. Crystal, you can't say ruined and then say not just playing. You have to own it. You must own it. But then you come back and say saved. Saved. Alright, so we have that like darker frame. We have these sort of like cloud type things. We've got the nebula. This is going to look 100 times better with stars on it, without a doubt. That's trying. I think the trees are going to come up to here. And kind of V down here. Tree. And V back up here. Some of them are going to get a little lost in the sauce in this black, I think. But I'm not saying that Joseph McCaffrey's playing League right now, but I'm saying he's playing League right now. I can hear him. Let's take a moment, a breather. This looks too warm on camera, if I'm being honest. On the stream, it looks too warm. Let me see if I can mess with the white balance on the camera. What could go wrong? I just don't know what button's the white balance button. Taking a break. This could go well. Really well. White balance. Quick menu. Just let's boost the eyes. Auto. Let me see. How's that? Too blue. How's this? Slightly more accurate, I think, actually. All right, there we go. Just less warm, but yeah, it's fine. Anyway, peace and love. Kamikaze Shot says, did you say $300 away from 4K? Yeah, $322 away from 4K. I turned on screen capture just in case you stood on the chair. And what, you were trying to wait for me to fall? That's okay. One time, this would actually be a fun video to show on stream at some point. I don't even know how to get to it though. It's a Facebook video. One time was hiking with my brother and Joe. This is way back in the day, long time ago. We're hiking in the woods and we're at this place in my hometown called The Ledge. That's like very high. Obviously it's called The Ledge and you can climb down, but there's like paths. And for some reason, I think at some point we could not find the path, but eventually my brother and I found the path. And Joseph took the hard way down. And he ended up at this point where he was just like perched up on a rock, like he could see us, but he was maybe like 10 feet up or something. And he had to swiftly like navigate his way down. And as he's about to make his final move, my brother says, wait, let me film this. And this is like really old, like crappy cell phone footage, but it's still funny. And he literally drops from like 10 feet. This is Joseph. He's like we're standing down here watching him filming. He's up here. He makes one wrong move and he goes, whoop, and then crashes like into a tree, like onto a rock. Like absolutely stunning footage that we have of that. We'll show that at some point. If we make the 24-hour live stream, maybe. Okay. Jin Sol Kong in the chat. 안녕하세요. 성세님. Chat. 성세님 진짜 가난한 사람. It's unfortunate, but it's true. All right, I just keep messing with that corner and it's unnecessary at this point. Anyway, my framing is all messed up. All right, let's keep going. I say, yo. Hey. All right, it's time to do trees. We'll do trees and then stars. I mean, we could do stars and then trees. It probably makes more sense. But I feel like we should do... We'll wait. We'll do stars at the end. Fairly decent nebula situation we got going on here. It could be better. But it's gonna turn out fun, I think. Hello, Dr. Foster. Dr. Foster, you don't look old enough to be a doctor, if I'm being honest. Okay, I need a thinner brush to do this. Dr. Foster says, happy birthday. Thank you. That's a great painting right there. Is that a tree Joe fell on? LOL. Wow, she got me, bro. All right, we need lots of black for this. Let's start with the tree on the edge. Is this dry enough to do this? Yeah. I really need to go up to like half the page, I think. Oh boy, I haven't done the tree in a while. It's okay, Dr. Foster. I thought that was funny. All right, tree time. Yeah, okay. Lots of black paint. Here we go. Start with just a line. A little more water. Just a line. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna go down to about here, which is pretty much where the detail will stop. And then we'll just add some of this. Obviously gonna get thicker as we go down. Happy trees, right? Not to be too thick, but this is the closest tree to the viewer, I think, so. You can leave some gaps. Not all trees are perfect. Alright, keep going down. This is, most of this is actually going to get blocked by just like extra, like black. It's going to be in shadow essentially. And we need more paint. Alright, keep going. Now this is the rest of our lives, folks. Trees like this for the rest of the night, I think. And this is what I was talking about. Basically, everything like here is gonna be just black. Which is fun. Isn't art so therapeutic? Shinsui says. Yes, it is. It really is. And thank you all for tuning in. I know this is not what my channel is about. I know this is not my my expertise. but it's still fun and something I thought would be fun to share with you all. All right, cool. So that's that tree on that side. Just to kind of evenly, or just kind of have an idea of where this is going to go, I guess in a sense I should do a tree like here. Like not as quite as tall as that one, but it's still like kind of clear in the photo or in the painting. I'm only going down that far because I'm about to add just straight up a blackness down there. I find the trees the most therapeutic part, personally. Now there's going to be a tree in front of this tree. That's why I'm doing it before I do the one on the most edge. More paint. And then these trees are also going to start to blend into each other. So remember, we're going to end up doing like a V shape. And these trees are much taller than we're actually making them out to be. I need less water, more paint. What is the name of this song? I'll keep going on this. But again, this is all basically going to be black. Man, TAETRO has so much creative energy in him, painting sick beats, great video production. How does he find that drive? Well, thank you for that kind words, Lance. I don't know. First of all, it's work. It's hard work, of course. But it just makes me happy. What can I say? Making stuff. Like, I can't sit still. I don't know if that's like I think eventually I'm going to run into some issues of like workaholism, which I feel like I kind of already have right now. I'm a bit of a workaholic. And I don't know if that comes from I transitioned into like freelance life not long ago. A couple years ago now, at least. And when you're a freelancer, you kind of always thinking about the next gig. When is the next gig? Like, what is the next gig? How are you paying your next set of bills? That sort of thing. And I've been very fortunate in my career to have connected with some people that have kept me employed, plenty of retainers, but it could all go away tomorrow, I feel. I mean, the pandemic was a scary time for a lot of people. I was fortunate enough to not lose work during the pandemic and actually gain work. Blessed. Unfortunately, it's not the same case for everybody else, not to mention the fact that it was a health crisis. That's besides the point. But I always seek the next thing. If I'm doing one thing, I'm looking for the next thing, you know? Which it's hard to relax sometimes. That's the drawback of that. What do I freelance with? Well, I consider the work that I do for the channel freelance. So that's working with sponsors, brands, and stuff like that. I also work as like a consultant with people like 343 Labs, kind of like overseeing content in that capacity. Also just random, like consulting jobs, like strategy work. I also work as an art director for a mission-driven agency. With them, I work with different clients on social strategy, community building, and stuff like that, like what I do here. But for other companies. And then with them, I also work with a really amazing high school producing a podcast. And actually, our podcast just got accepted, where I'm actually going to be recording a live podcast episode at South by Southwest in March in Austin. I have a podcast called Education Disruption, which is about a high school that does things like really exceptionally, really differently. It's like a different side, it's a different life that I live other than this channel, but it's cool. I think y'all would find it pretty interesting. But yeah, we're going to South by Southwest, so that's fun. And then, yeah, so it's that kind of thing. Like consulting and content making, content strategy, art direction, that sort of thing. How long did you stream / make content before you went full-time? Well, I didn't really stream before I went full-time. And what sort of happened was, well, I made content for a long time. Probably 4 years of making videos and stuff. And then finally went full-time. But what happened was I had gotten off. I worked full-time at a nonprofit, at a Boys and Girls Club as a music director. Loved that job. Some of my most formative life experiences happened at that job because of that job, because of, you know, what that work entails. As much as I love that job, it didn't pay a lot. It sounds callous, but that kind of work highly undervalues its people, and people are at the heart of that work. The reason kids go to a nonprofit organization at the end of the day is to meet with the people. It's not because they have a cool facility or a cool studio, even though cool studios are great. But with the right people, you can serve so many more kids. I found that many organizations like that value the shiny thing that they can show to funders, you know? The shiny auditorium, the shiny gymnasium. Makes sense from a fundraising perspective. But you do all this fundraising, you build a beautiful building, you pay a lot of the people at the top a lot of money, and then you pay all the people on the ground that are working with kids or doing the work, the direct service. You pay them not a lot of money. So it becomes not sustainable for them. So it churns. So I was there for about 4 years. I saw this group of kids. I had kids of all ages, but I had this one kind of group of kids that basically all graduated graduated high school. I had seen them from about 8th grade to graduating college, and there's some crossover there, right? I had some that had already left for college, that I had known since they were freshman, sophomore, that kind of thing. And it was just the right time. That same exact time, I had got a job offer to do content. And it was a pretty decent offer. It was more money than I was making, and the timing seemed right. At the same time, I started taking on other types of gigs, and I had actually got an offer from a different organization for less money, but still more than I was making, or about the same. What it was less money and more freedom, the initial offer that I got from a different company. So I was quite conflicted. And I ultimately decided to go with the offer that was less money and provided me with more freedom. And I think that that was the right decision, because what it allowed me to do was continue to work on the channel, continue to improve the channel with more time, and take on other types of freelancing gigs of connections that I had largely made at the nonprofit that I worked at. So then it became a balancing act of doing a bunch of different things. And as I continue on through that work, I work with many of these people still today. They help me pay my bills, but I have pretty much built my work life around making sure that I have time. So I get compensated very well as I negotiate to get compensated very well. Always with the priority being my time. I need to have freedom and I need to have time. So I can fill that time with whatever creative need I have at the moment. Whether that's making a video, whether that's starting to live stream, which I did this year. Wouldn't be able to do that with a job that didn't give me freedom, you know? Let's add a little. So that has always been the priority since I started this freelance life. Time and freedom. Lance says 100% true. I worked at a youth club teaching. It's all about the people. It's who the kids connect with. The subject and the facilities are secondary. 100%. When I started there, I had much smaller resources than I did when I left there. And ultimately what happened is we continued to grow because we were crushing it. And I'm saying this objectively. I'm not saying this to be like braggadocious or anything, but I was like top performer. Like I was one of the strongest. I became one of the senior like leads there, basically program leads. I was getting paid probably the most money, and it was still not a good amount of money. I don't know. Like it's sad. I could pay my bills, but I also had to commute an hour in and out of the city just to be able to afford a decent place to live on my own. It's quite sad. So yeah. Is the street bigger? No, the street's still smaller. We're gonna go like this. But yeah, the people are the most important people at those organizations. Wizzo says, this is one of my favorite streams you ever did. I did after school programs and high school band camps back a lifetime ago. Yeah, that's great work. I think someday I could go back to it at some point. I think I'm very passionate about that kind of work. So, well, that's why that's why we're doing the fundraiser. We have Music and Youth Initiative. They were literally one of the funders of my program. And actually I was so Music and Youth has a bunch of music clubhouses all around Boston, Massachusetts, New England, but then they also have them in other states. And I was like a cluster leader, so I got to like go and see a bunch of other programs, and I got to work with other directors and facilitate meetings where we would share best practices and stuff. And that kind of work is really, really fulfilling. It's just a shame that it doesn't compensate well all the time for the directors. But, you know, Music and Youth organization working to make sure those people get paid. Because when David came on the first Beattober stream, he talked about how that's part of what they do. They literally fund salaries because sometimes organizations have a tough time wrapping their head around paying a music person well. But it is what it is. Hello, Valdemar Izquierdo. Nice to see you. Kids are everything. Kids are the future. I mean, this channel is mission driven, right? Like all the content is free. I hope people take advantage. That's why I like doing what I do. I feel like I can reach more people with the channel than I can working at a singular program. However, one day if I return to that work, I would like to help grow the impact, you know? And that's one of the reasons I started live streaming, because sure, I can maybe teach more people by making YouTube videos that everybody can consume, but that you lose the personal aspect. And live streaming really, really helps that. Like we can all chat and stuff while doing a stream. We can get to know each other. We can build community. We can have events, support each other, that sort of thing. I realized these trees are not freaking big enough. I'm making them all like the same size, kind of. This is where my lack of art knowledge is coming into play. All right, just the bottom here is just like blah, 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 because it's going to end up getting painted. What I'm going to do real quick is not use such hard black. I'm actually going to try to make some more distant trees. If I do this, but I kind of take paint off my brush, and you see it's making like a gray color. This is going to make it seem more distant. This song, my friends, if you can all hear the music in the background, this is the one that started it all. This is Rain. This is the first performance that was ever on the channel. If I continue to do this, and you can see that I'm getting impatient with my brush strokes, but it's actually looking pretty good. If I do that with that gray, I can now kind of add some stuff behind the scenes here. Kind of like ambiguous trees. It's often like that, getting paid in creative fields. Well, that's why I'm very avid about negotiating and making sure people are getting paid what they're worth. And there's money going around, folks. That's what I can tell you. If at any point there's not money going around, that's when you if you love your work and there's like not much money in it, right? It's easy to just take the L and be like, all right, I'm doing it because I love it. There's not much money going around. But many times creatives get exploited, meaning that there's money coming in to whatever it is that you're a part of, but it's not going to you. It's going to somebody else. Who does it go to? Managers, office people, etc., etc. So that translates from nonprofit world to this current world, right? Like if I'm going to work with a company, a brand, on a collaborative video, I'm going to basically do some marketing for them. Not to say I'm doing it purely for the marketing. I'll take the tools and I'll apply it to my process and I'll show it in the way that they love. Then what ultimately happens is I need to make sure I'm being compensated fairly. What kind of value am I providing? Unauto-tuned vocals on this track, huh? That's bold. Just adding some more like faint background trees here. So the lesson in that is, folks, whenever you're going to do something, if there's money going around, make sure you're compensated fairly. If you're doing something, like if it's with a friend and your friend's like, oh, can you help me with my track or something? Like, can we collaborate on this? Then that's fine. That's equal. There's no money going around. But if I was your friend and I said, hey, can you come be on my channel? I am doing this sponsored stream and I need somebody to come in and like play guitar or something like that, I would 100% pay you. And if I was somebody that did not outright like broach that subject of paying you, then you should in that instance say, well, you're making money off the sponsor. Like, don't do the thing where it's like, oh, I'm honored just to be a part of it, you know? Maybe there are occasions where, you know, it's the whole exposure thing, right? Would you take it for exposure? Maybe some cases it makes sense. In many cases it does not, and people are just trying to exploit you. Don't get exploited. Okay. We need to start going down. I don't know why I didn't do the V. I'm so bad at this. It's okay. I'm not trying to reprint this one photograph. We're close though. We are very close to this final product. I need to start doing smaller tweaks. Joseph says, I'm quitting modding music production streams to mod watercolor streams. Perfect. That aligns perfectly with my new direction. They don't claim the synth solo though. They won't claim it. and says, hey, finally made it to a stream. Definitely make this an art channel. Oh, well. I think it's funny if this really is your first stream. This is not what we do every day. We're going to be live on Thursday. Actually making some music, which should be a fun stream. We're going to have a vocalist coming in, I'm pretty sure. I just need to confirm. There was going to be an ad mention, a sponsor. But the thing that I needed to get is not going to get delivered on time, unfortunately. All right, so we're just filling out these trees here. It straight up sounded like Star Wars for a second. Yes, in that video, I do a synth solo. And for one reason or another, that melody came to me. And I played that in the synth solo. So I'm not putting more paint on the brush here. I'm gonna take paint off the brush. Trying to get like a little background tree happening. Makes the woods look thicker. So you see the reasoning behind doing the yellow and the red and all that? Because now it's peeking through these trees. Need to add a little more pigment there. Alright, there we go. Can be kind of like messy. Your eye infers a lot in art. Or like in watercolor, you know? How you make a tree look so flawless? I mean, once you kind of... oh, that's Jace. Jace, what's good? Check it out. Get it in the light. I get the tree so flawless. Once you kind of learn how to do this, I mean, I'm using like a flat brush, a small flat brush, and I'm literally kind of just drawing lines. Oh, I don't need that much paint. And just drawing lines. I don't know. Once you learn how to do it, like this is why trees are my favorite thing, because you can get them to look really good, and it doesn't. It's like not that hard. Not that it's not that hard, but because my trees could for sure look better, and all my trees look a bit identical. Which, if you look at other photos and other paintings, not so much. But I do hope to continue to grow this skill. I'm at the point where, like, I took like this leap from knowing nothing about watercolor to knowing a bit of something. And now there is like this hump to get over of like, okay, I'm a beginner and I'm feeling really good because I've taken maybe the next step and I have some like cool work to show. But the next hump is like to really get to learning more technique and refining and getting better. And that is the hardest part for sure. Just filling in some gaps so it's a little more gray. And I think I can even do a taller distant tree out there. I'll take some black and then get the black off. If I do something like way out here, it could even be that tall. Not that tall. Maybe like this. Because in this reference photo, there's a lot of just like straight logs, but do something like this. Like an imperfect tree out there. Just like beat making and music making though, right? Like you learn a little bit about music making, and then to learn like the deep techniques, it gets a little harder. Nahum says, wow, amazing, thank you. Len says, MIDI keyboard arrived, now I gotta learn to play piano, I guess, hee. You should watch my first music theory video, Lance. That's a good start. Or at least a lot of people tell me that's a good start. Okay, let's add a couple like rogue leaves and stuff. And then we're gonna fill in the bottom with a bigger brush. And the thing about perfect tree or flawless tree is there are no flawless trees. That's the other thing. You go outside, you're going to see a bunch of freaking janky looking trees. So if I want to paint trees, I know that they're going to be janky looking. And they can be janky looking. They should be janky looking. I'm going to make sure not too much of that orange color gets through these trees though, because that's going to make it not look like there's woods. You know? Thank you all for joining. If you want to help support the Music and Youth Initiative, we are running this as a fundraiser. So you can hit that donate button, which is the super chat button. We are close to our $4,000 goal. We're $300 away from our $400 goal. $4,000 goal. That number you see at the top is not the total sum of fundraising. The total sum comes from a number of sources, like the YouTube donations, like the sound sample pack sales, like the merch sales, like the YouTube membership, etc., PayPal donations at TAETRO.com/Beattober, etc. So if you want to be a part of that, you can, anything you can donate. You can donate $1, $5, $10. It all helps. It all works towards it. We are so close to that next donation goal. Thank you all for hanging out with me during a painting stream. Painting stream was part of our fundraising goal. All right, I think that's good. I think I need to just fill in black at the bottom. I'm gonna do that with a bigger brush. Let's freaking get it. I don't know if I should be using a flat brush for this or what, but I don't know the rules. I'm gonna do this kind of like scratchy. Actually, this is probably the worst brush for this. Let me not do it like that. I'm gonna use my giant brush here. I don't need much water. I need mostly paint. And let's freaking fill this in. I'm gonna do it like kind of not totally smooth, but I guess it is trees. It is a forest. If you are enjoying the stream, please leave a like, completely free. Also, turn on notifications so you do not miss future streams. That really helps. We stream multiple times a week on here. Next time we'll be streaming is Thursday, actually. So stay tuned for that stream. Should be fun. We're going to be making some beats. Get a vocalist in here, singing on some tunes. Should be a good time. All right, I'm literally just filling this in with black. We don't need all that detail down here. It's supposed to be dark. This is crazy. This is the first time I've done this like on camera doing a stream. I don't think this is going to be my best painting, but I think it's going to be my worst painting. As long as I don't mess it up from here, which there's still time. Just fill all that in. I need this to be like an even black, basically. Like I might add like a little bit of texture to this because it is like technically just trees, but it's trees in the dark, you know? More black. So we're going to be live on Thursday, but also Saturday. So if you've been participating in Beattober, I'll be reviewing your beats. I think there's a sponsorship on Saturday, but I cannot confirm. All right. Just adding like little edges to the top. Hi, Brian Mohammed. I probably could have done this better, but I probably could have done like even brush strokes or something, but this is where my like lack of training and technique is probably showing, is like I don't know what to do to make this a nice even look. It's supposed to be black. See how it looks when it dries. The Wistful Snail says the trees just dropped in. Thank you. Yeah, the trees and then the stars will be the final touch for this. Spread that black paint a little bit. I think I can take this brush and just... I'm just gonna lift paint, I think. Put some black paint on here. A little texture, right? Oh. If you only use... Oh, you guys are talking about MIDI controllers. Of course. But other ideas welcome for if we hit that $5,000 donation goal, we do the 24-hour stream, because I don't know how I'm going to stay awake. Apparently I do have to stay awake as part of the deal. Maybe I can be allowed a nap. I just don't know if it's possible for me to stay up. I mean 24 hours. Just layering this with black. This just needs to be dark. So. Cool. All right, I actually really like the colors of the sky. I think the blotchiness is a little bit sus, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks towards the end. I realize the brushstroke should have been like this, like a V. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but it's not coming out bad. Maybe if some of you rewind the chat and look how far we've come. This is what I mean, is like you start a painting, and if you have been watching from the beginning, or if you rewind and look at the beginning, you see like how janky it looked when we started with yellow and pink. Like here we are now. I realize you guys cannot even see half of what I see in that black, but look at it now. It's not looking half bad. Looks like a giant deer spirit. I'll take that. Cool. Black on this brush. Can I add a little black? Let's add some black here to the edge. I lifted it and I shouldn't have. This is the point in the painting where it's like nearly done, and I'll say, oh, let me do this thing over here, and it just freaking ruins it. So can I see the future and just say, I'm not going to do that. The llama spirit, lo-fi llama in the chat. Hello. Dega says, bro, you are talented, my guy. Thank you so much. Okay, what do I need? We need to do the stars. I think that's kind of the final touch. That's going to take it to the next level. How long have we been going for, I wonder? It also, I always, not always, but generally am painting at night. And I just realized it feels like it's like 10 o'clock at night right now, and it can't be. And it's definitely not. Texture. There you go. All right. The bottom is basically done. Okay. I need like straight edge. Can I use washi tape without destroying the painting? I've never tried it. Are you autodidact with music / video edits, etc., like with your painting? I don't know what that means. What is autodidact? This is complete except for the stars. All right. Okay. If you think it's complete except for the stars, then let's get started here. I wish I had a better way. I have cardboard. The reason I am doing this is because I need to block the trees for how we're going to do the stars. So stand by as we get creative here. Not going to be like perfectly flat. Bob Ross type beat. Exactly. I'm just putting this down because the stars cannot be on top of the trees. Right? Safe to say. Which is why I should have done the stars before I did the trees. But we don't use watercolors to do the stars, so that's what makes it complicated. I wish I had more paper towels with me, but I do not. Brian says, cool nails, thank you. Somebody made fun of my nails on Instagram today. I don't understand that. They said something like, what did they say? Man, did somebody pay you to do that to your nails, or do you think it just makes you more cool? And I said, it just makes me more cool. Obviously, because it does. And they came back with, man, you sold out. I mean, maybe one would be cool, unless your mom painted it for you or something. Well, first of all, my initial response to him was, it makes me more cool, ask your mom. Because guaranteed, that guy shows my photos to his mom, and she, like, will have a crush on me. Like, no doubt. And, like, that puts me one step away from being this dude's stepdad. And I don't want to have to do that just to teach him a lesson, but if I become his stepdad, he's going to be grounded. Like, that's the first order of business. And that would be unfortunate for him, so I was trying to make him see that. I don't think he saw it that way. I don't think he understood what I was trying to say. So yeah. It's very close to getting grounded, but nonetheless, we just let it pass. We move on. I just don't know. That's such a weird take in 2021. Wait, this is actually a smart way to do. This is not a smart way to do this actually, because it's not laying flat. I feel like the paint's gonna get caught underneath it. You guys like this? This is like real pro stuff right here. This is straight up what the pros do. Tape random cardboard, cover the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but close enough, because we're about to splatter paint the freaking... These are too wet to use. Let me boycott this idea for a second. The reason I'm doing this, chat, is so that the stars don't get on the trees, because that will totally break my immersion. Joe, if you're not playing a game, could you bring me dry paper towels, like 1 or 2? Peace and love. But if you are in a game, it's not super urgent. I'm putting the washi tape. I don't think it'll ruin it. Or it'll ruin it, and then that'll be the end. I do usually do it with paper towels, I feel. Stepdad MIDI Cyberhawk 2077. What's happening? Just a little bit of tape to cover up this tree line. But yeah, don't be one of those people on social media that tries to put people down for no reason. Not a good look for anybody. And dead giveaway if you're feeling insecure. Hello. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Got him. All right, so this will be a lot easier than what I'm doing right now. Just kind of rip the paper towel, This does not have to be perfect. I don't know why I'm obsessing over it. I guess because I'm on stream and painting and it's just a lot. Put that there. Hi, the frag typical. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. We're just adding some of this down here and some of this. This is fine. Again, we're doing this because we're about to add some stars. And maybe one last piece of cardboard will do just fine. Right there. And we'll just do this. That's fine. Oh, all right. That was way too much. Like, what the heck? I got this paint marker, which is not watercolor. But remember when I was saying you can't add light onto dark in watercolor, but that is how we're going to get stars, because we're going to add paint. Well, water, I don't know what kind of paint this is. Acrylic? I don't know. Get the cap off. Boom. Does paint come out? Paint comes out. Perfect. Don't want it on that tree. Okay. Not on that tree either. Alright, this is the jankiest freaking way to do this, chat, but here we go. Nonetheless, let's just freaking do it. So we are splattering the paint. As you can see, not much explanation to be had here, I don't think. Boom. I realize I'm gonna get this all over my desk, but that's okay. Ooh, that was a lot. Don't want to overdo it. I don't even know if you can see it on camera, to be honest. Get a little over here. Different angles. It took me a while to realize I could hit this with a brush instead of like my finger, so I would be like in pain doing this. But all right. Let's freaking see how this turned out. Not bad at all. Now, one of them has like shooting stars, which I guess we could do. Like you just take one of these big ones and kind of corny. That's enough shooting stars. All right, let's get rid of all this junk that we made. And now, easy. That did not really lift any paint off. That's good. Okay. So now we didn't get any stars on the paint. I mean, on the tree. Let's paint this, peel this off. Nobody answered what autodidact means. Phone case now also starred. Yeah, exactly. All right. And now this is going to be the most satisfying part of the journey. Chat, thank you all so much. This has been a really fun stream. We are going to do the last part here, which is peeling off the tape around the border, which is 110% the most satisfying part of the painting process. Kind of means like, oh, okay, we're done. Now I could add a little more black pigment here. Man, it feels like I have to go to bed now because I'm painting. Like it feels like bedtime. And the playlist started over, so that's how I know we've only been going an hour. Okay, just adding a little bit more black in there. A little bit texture. Rub it in. we are done. I promise we're done. But I just wanted a little bit. I don't know how I got white there. Okay. All right, this is it. We're done. I'm done adding things that will make it worse. Oh, autodidact self-taught. Yeah. Yes. This old snail says, dude, this looks amazing. Thanks. But you saw what I did. Like, there's no rocket science going on here. All right, we're gonna unveil. We're gonna tear the paint off. So if you tuned in just now, we just finished the painting. This is the most satisfying part. I do want to quickly remind you all. First of all, I'm gonna show you the reference photo. We tried to take this tree shape, and why is it doing that? And that sky pattern. Sorry, it's flashing like that. I don't know what's happening. Stop. This sky pattern, this tree shape, similar vibes to this. Those were the references. I like, see, with the colors, I was aiming for this one. However, I actually prefer the colors that we ended up with. It's a bit darker and moodier, and you're not seeing it totally translated properly. But that's what we did for the reference. I just want to remind everybody this is all for a good cause. TAETRO.com/Beattober. We are working towards our fundraising goal of $4,000. We're only 300 away from that. So if you would like to contribute to this goal, here's all the ways you can contribute. Picking up some merch, buying a sample pack, making a donation during this live stream, becoming a member, hitting that join button below the video. And also going just to this page, there's a PayPal link if you're more comfortable paying via PayPal rather than the YouTube chat. But all the info is at TAETRO.com/Beattober. You can pick up this cool shirt. It's pinned to the top of the chat. And it's all contributing to support the Music and Youth Initiative, which is an amazing nonprofit that does after-school programming. We are currently at this tier. We just met this tier. Okay, we're doing the bonus painting stream now. We hit this tier on Saturday. We're $300 away from the $4,000 mark. We've had some very generous donors, so thank you all. And then we'll be on our way to doing a 24-hour live stream if we hit 5,000. So if you are able, and you can, if you've watched a piece of my content and you took some value from it, maybe you learned a lesson, consume my content for free, and you want to just leave me a tip or just show some appreciation, this is a good way to do that and also support a good cause. You can do that right in the chat right now and help us get to that $4,000 mark. Of course, we'll be live again later this week. If you're not able to donate now, you want to say, oh, I'll be able to donate, but on Thursday I'll donate, or on Saturday I'll donate. We'll be live Thursday and Saturday as well. But nonetheless, thank you for joining me for this painting stream. Here is the most satisfying part. Now on my a couple paintings ago, I pulled this too hard and it ripped. So be careful. This is very satisfying. I'm telling you all, this is like literally a cheat code because it makes the composition look so good when it's framed like this. Let's get that paint off. I mean the tape, not paint. Peel that. All right, and the final strip. Boom. How do we like it, chat? It's pretty good. There's a couple things that could get touched up a little bit. I don't want to fuck it up, but... Oh, sorry. I guess we're swearing now. Just going to add a little black in there. I think there would have been a better way to do this bottom section, but it's fine. It's fine. Add a little bit of black here and there. All right, that's all I'm going to do. I'm done. Stepping away. That is our painting. I hope you can see that well. Cool. This is the lesson. Like when I was starting this, like when we first started, and it was just like yellow and pink, and then we started adding the blue and the black. It looked bad. I thought. But hey, I think it looks pretty good now. That's the thing, is you keep working on it, you keep working it, and then eventually you trust the final product. Hey, Anonymous, donate $5 to the Music and Youth Initiative. Thank you so much. We are at the end of the stream, so if you want to drop a donation on your way out, that would very much be helpful. When you donate through the YouTube thing, it takes away all fees. So if you want to even donate $1, it's great. $10, fantastic. But thank you so much for that. 5, Anonymous. Appreciate you. Uneven edge, though. Yeah, probably a crooked edge or something. Looks cool. Thank you all. I'm glad you all like it. I'm glad it came out like this, and I don't normally do the shooting stars thing, so that's pretty cool. Some of the stars are a little sus, a little too big, but that's fine. That was me. Thank you, Lo-Fi Llama. I appreciate you. All right, I love doing new paintings. I should date this. I have been bad at dating the ones that I've been doing. Right. I didn't actually bring it in here, but I'll throw it. I'll throw the date on there in the corner. I'll be live with ADSR tomorrow, reviewing people's music. I'll be live on this channel on Thursday, making some music with a friend who's going to come in and sing. We're going to hopefully put together a tight jam. And then on Saturday, I'll be reviewing people's Beattober beats. So a lot more to come from this channel. Make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on. TAETRO.com/Beattober if you want to just find more details about what's going on. But thank you all so much for being so supportive and joining me for this bonus painting stream. If you want to see more of these, we can do more of them in the future. Maybe I'll make them like a members only thing. We'll do members only like painting streams or something. But you can do this too. Maybe some of you should go out and try painting yourselves. I think it's a lot of fun. And you can see that it really wasn't that difficult, and it turned out pretty good. But that's going to be it anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO with a bonus watercolor painting stream. I will see you all tomorrow on ADSR, Thursday on this channel. That's it. Have a good one. See you on Instagram. All the links you need in the description. Peace.